All right, I'm going to do a short little video on the four-wheel drive shifter here in this F350 1996. And I've already done a little bit to take this out. So what's going on is that the shifter should, as you grab the handle here to shift into four-wheel drive into the different ranges, you should push down on the lever and then you can pull back or push forward into your different ranges. And there's a little telescoping piece here that should slip up and down about an inch or so. And that is seized up on this truck. And a lot of times what I've seen on other videos is that the pivot, which is this bolt here, and I've actually pulled this bolt out already, so that's why it looks like it's halfway uninstalled. But that's where it freezes normally here, but I've actually got a lot of motion here, so this is fine. It's just that the shifter down here, the up and down, is stuck. So in this cab, for whatever reason, I had to cut out just a little bit of my floor because I couldn't get a socket on this. I didn't have the right Torx, so I just got an inch socket. Actually wasn't stuck. I used a big breaker bar and it came loose really easy, and then I used an impact just to back it out. So this bolt's already been backed out, like I said, and I'm just going to pull it out, and then the whole mechanism, the shifting mechanism here, is going to come out. So here's the shifter out of the truck. I had to take it apart here too. This is the linkage that goes back to the transfer case and actually shifts it into the different ranges. And so I'm going to take these boots off, and I'm going to get some diesel fuel inside here and just let it soak and see if I can get that loosened up. But like I said, in a lot of cases, what I've found is this is the place where it likes to seize up on this bolt here, and then people go hammering around on it, and then they break this whole piece, this whole casting, which is not cheap. As you can see, there was quite a bit of rust inside. Here's the tube. You can see quite a bit of corrosion here, and then the pin, there was a pin that went in here perpendicular on the bottom. I drove that out. That came out pretty hard, but then you can see there's just a bunch of rust here. So I'll take this spring off, and then I will shine this up and lube it up and make sure that we are working in good order before I put it back together. Okay, so now I have everything disassembled and everything is cleaned. I spent most of my time on this pin here. This one was all basically rusted up, so there's a bushing that goes on the top here, and then the spring goes on, and then there's a bushing here on the bottom, and that spring gets sandwiched. Basically, when you're in the cab and you press down on the four-wheel drive range selector gear shift, you're basically just compressing the spring, and this lever drops down, and then you can actuate the lever back and forth on that pivot and find your range, and then it pops back up. That spring then allows it to pop back up. So at this point, this was all, like I said, this is all rusted. I just took some sandpaper and polished that up. So now I will take some gun grease, and then these bushings should slide very easily. And once it's all assembled, I'll show you how it works. Okay, I am reassembled now, with the exception of the pin that goes through the bottom here. I had to destroy it coming out, so I'm going to get a new pin, or I could probably put a bolt through there. But now you can see that this compresses. When it's in the truck, then when you press down, you've got that much action. So now when you're in the truck, you hit the four-wheel drive lever down, you'll get down about a ½ inch, and then you can pivot and select your range. So I've got it nice and lubed with some gun grease, and that should work for years to come.